Greetings, I am EFB57, Minecraft name LegionFlappus57. I am top 10 in lifetime wins, and top 25 in lifetime kills. Today, I'd like to show a project I've been working on for quite a while now, the Assassins Endscreen Counter. For a little backstory, let me explain what Assassins is for anyone new. You can skip to the end of brief explanation if you already know what the game is. Do note this won't go too in detail, but Jebhai, sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, has an in-detail explanation if you're really curious. Assassins is a murder mystery game mode made by Hypixel, where everyone is the murderer. You can play as one of 16 characters, and your goal is to survive to the end of the game. This happens when you are one of the last 2 players remaining. Okay, quick post note here. Apparently they're making it so that you can't win with 0 kills in Assassins. This likely won't change the end screen significantly, other than labeling. But yeah, now you have to get at least 1 kill to also win. This might make high kill games harder to get in the future. In this game, everyone is given a description of their target, is equipped with a throwable knife, and can collect 5 gold to get a bow and 1 arrow. Killing your target gives you a new target ticket. Post note, and it also gives you a piece of gold. Neat. However, here's the catch. You can only kill the target and whoever you're the target of. Post note. This mechanic didn't change, don't worry. Whenever someone gets close to their target will get some noticeable effects. Okay, brief explanation of Assassins over. Back to explaining the project. The Assassins Endscreen Counter is a large, multi-page document keeping track of 1,240 unique endscreens in Assassins games. Each row has 5 slots so multiple people can get the same endscreen submitted. Now you're probably wondering, what's an endscreen? An endscreen is the final results printed in chat at the end of a game. For Assassins, this consists of 3 players, the 2 winners, and the deceased most kills. We'll call this last part DMK. The deceased most kills is the highest kill count obtained by a player that did not survive until the end. For example, if one player has 2 kills, the other winner has 0 kills, and only one other player has 3 kills, the deceased most kills would be 3. Only 1 top-killing deceased player is picked at random for DMK in the case of a tie. Believe it or not, this was actually not the first endscreen layout used for Assassins. The first endscreen layout, used around the time of its release, was slightly different. It only showed the kill count of the highest killing players, alive or not. The winners did not have their kill count shown unless they killed the most players. In the old endscreen layout, it was possible for multiple players to both be listed here. The first time I decided I wanted to keep track of my endscreens was in February 2020. However, my first recorded endscreen was a 9 kill on December 28th, 2019. Back then, I was top 100 in both lifetime wins and kills, and was starting to lose interest in the game. Thus, I decided to create a challenge, and see how many unique endscreens I could get. I eventually settled on a way of explaining the game's results, and got a lot of unique games. As time went on, getting unique endscreens became more and more difficult. By May 22nd, 2021, I had 379 of the 1,240 unique endscreens. That's less than 31%. That's when I knew, if I were to get even close to completing this, I'd need some help. So, I made an Excel sheet and got to work. I started off with the basic rules and submission process, then numbered tabs for each of the kill counts. Then I realized I didn't want people to submit this to my main account, so I made a new account and copied my progress over. The first thing I did was add 2 columns for each submission, Achiever and Author. That way, people could submit endscreens they haven't won or gotten DMK in. Then, I added endscreens that I personally got, as well as what some others got in my endscreens. After that, I went to release leaderboard for kills per map in Assassins. At the time of filling it out, there were over 50 pages of screenshots, a few pages having the old endscreen style. Once done there, I watched Assassins, you should definitely subscribe to them by the way, and got some of their high kill games that didn't get posted to the leaderboard. Something to note here is that although they have a Minecraft name, I credited their YouTube for these. Now that I got the boring history out of the way, let's explain how the AEC works. There are 15 tabs, labeled 0 through 14. This is because 14 is the maximum number of kills possible in Assassins, and 0 is obviously the minimum. Remember that phrase I showed earlier? A represents the tab number. This is the kill count of one of the winners. B represents the other winner's kill count, and C represents the DMK. Something to mention here is that A-B_C is not always the same game as B-A_C. For win, the A in A-B_C represents how many kills the achiever got. For loss, the A is just the highest kill count for the two winners. In addition, if the DMK is 0, then A-B_C loss is not possible. This part will discuss the rules for submission and several examples of potential submissions. The submissions focus on key points before anyone submitting should take note of. Before we do that, however, here's a brief list of rules for submissions. Don't submit private games. Private games can become stage games, which are an illegitimate way to obtain an end screen. Don't use hacks. I think this rule is obvious. You can include games for other people. It's highly encouraged, actually. That's just a brief summary of the rules. If you follow these three, you should be fine. Submissions require either a screenshot or video for proof. For AEC, submission of an A-B_C game shows multiple end screens. A-B_C win for player A, B-A_C win for player B, and A-B_C loss for player C. All three, or 2 if C is 0, will be submitted, given enough space for them. Now for the examples. If you'd like to skip past these, then skip to the next 7 chapters or go to the description to click on the chapter Submission Process. Our first example will be this fiery dude from the Hecklands. Mr. Hecklord here sends an email claiming to have gotten a 14-0_0 win. And that's it. He doesn't show any video or screenshot proving he got this run, he just says he got it. For this reason, his submission is rejected. Please attach screenshots or videos. Wait, what? Next up, we have this innocent Sentient cherry. They have a legit submission for 3-4_, and they submitted their cheat. Now, they're submitting another 3-4_, and they cheat. The submission is not rejected, rather the second version is not added. Having the same achiever with the same endscreen correction form will not constitute. However, we will count the other players in the next screenshot. Our third submitter is Undyne, the revenge-seeking crazy fish lady. Undyne has a screenshot showing proof of their amazing show of bloodlust and knife content. However, the picture is a bit blurry. Luckily, Undyne noticed this. She included the names of the players that got kills, including their Minecraft game, in the submission. For this reason, it's accepted. Make sure to include names for the achievers if the image or video is blurry. Here we have an innocent little Pootis bird. Pootis bird submitted their first 0-10 win school. What they didn't see, however, is that the column for that end screen is already full. Not only that, but the 10-0 win and 10-0 loss categories are also full. Full Pootis bird submission is rejected due to all 3 of the categories being full. Make sure to check if all 3 end screens are full before submitting. Surprising no one, there's a murder mystery fan. They play murder mystery 12 hours a day, every day, so calling them that wouldn't be a lie. So, Mr. Mysterious Murderer Sweat has an 8-0_0 win. But wow, that's that. The game was done in a private lobby. For that, the submission is rejected. Private games are not allowed. 2 more to go. This is Nick. Their friend submitted their achievement for them. Nick is very much so Nick, even their Minecraft name is totally real Nick. Wait a minute, that's not an actual Minecraft name. That Nick was Nick! Luckily, their friend, Red Pyro, let me know in the submission that the Nick was a spy. And as in spy, I mean he was a Nick player. That way, the submission is confirmed and the name Totally Real Nick was colored orange to denote that they were nicked. If you know someone in your end screen is nicked, mention it in the submission. Finally, we have a soldier. They have a YouTube account and their name on there is Red Soldier, not a spy. In their submission, they submit their friend Red Battle Vinny's end screen. In their submission, they mention how they like to be credited by their YouTube. This is a perfectly acceptable thing to do. You're allowed to be credited by your YouTube name if you don't want to be credited by or don't have a for the most important part of the video, the submission process. To submit an end screen, send an email to hypixelassassins@gmail.com. Put the subject on the email as Assassins Project and include the video or screenshot proof. Remember, as in Undyne's case, if the picture or video is too blurry, make sure to include the names of the players in the submission. You can view your submissions, as well as the submissions of others, by heading to the Excel link in the description. I'm really looking forward to your submissions. Until then, that's it. Thanks for watching. Whoops.